Ever wished you could conjure stunning images out of thin air? Just with your words? Imagine turning your wildest creative visions into captivating visuals with the snap of a finger. Or, a well-crafted prompt. Get ready to unlock the secret sauce to generating incredibly detailed, diverse images with Gemini. Because today, we're not just creating pictures. We're performing image alchemy. Now let's dive into the RCTFC Blueprint, your prompting superpower. Welcome to the core of our image alchemy lesson, the RCTFC framework. Think of RCTFC not as a rigid rulebook, but as your trusty GPS for guiding Gemini to exactly where you want to go visually. It stands for role, context, task, format, and constraints. Why is it so powerful for images? Because AI, brilliant as it is, thrives on clarity. Without it, you might get a lovely picture, but is it the picture in your mind's eye? Probably not. RCTFC helps us translate the fuzzy, beautiful ideas in our heads into crisp, actionable instructions for Gemini. It's about being a benevolent dictator to your AI, giving it enough information to be creative within your vision, making sure every pixel aligns with your intent. It's the difference between asking for a dog and getting a golden retriever puppy mid-jump, chasing a frisbee at sunset with golden hour lighting. See the magic? Alright, let's kick off our visual journey with a delightful scene for a children's book. This prompt is designed to show you RCTFC in action for image generation. Notice how the role sets the tone for Gemini, guiding it as a visual storyteller. The context immediately places our scene, telling Gemini the purpose of the image. Then, the task is incredibly specific, detailing our charming fox, the tea party, and those adorable acorn teacups. Format defines the artistic style, ensuring Gemini knows the aesthetic we're aiming for. Finally, constraints add those crucial details like the fox's expression and the enchanting background elements. This structure leaves little to chance, making sure Gemini captures your creative vision. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try this prompt yourself. You can copy the exact prompt from the lab guide below. If you want to skip ahead, use the chapter links at the bottom of the video or in the description. Didn't that prompt feel like giving Gemini a clear map to a treasure chest? By using role, we prime the AI for the creative mindset needed, like telling an actor their part. The context set the stage, indicating a children's book, which subtly influenced the overall feel. Our highly descriptive task was the star here, detailing the fox, the monocle, the tea party, and those specific acorn teacups meant Gemini had no choice but to bring those whimsical elements to life. Format locked in the digital painting style, preventing a photographic or sketch output. And those constraints about the friendly fox and dappled light, they added the emotional depth and environmental richness we wanted, transforming a mere image into a heartwarming scene. See how each piece of RCTFC builds on the last, guiding Gemini pixel by pixel to your vision? It's like conducting a digital orchestra. By dissecting your image requests into these 5 components, you're not just asking for an image, you're directing its creations. It's like giving Gemini the script, the set design, and the character breakdown. Now let's dive into Picture Perfect, crafting photorealistic images. Alright, let's talk photorealism. This isn't just about making something look real. It's about making it look like it was captured by a high-end camera, with all the nuances of light, shadow, and texture that fool the eye. When prompting for photorealistic images, we need to think like a photographer or a cinematographer. Consider the angle, the lens, the time of day, and even the subtle imperfections that make reality so convincing. Forget generic descriptions. We're diving into the nitty-gritty. Think soft, diffused sunlight filtering through autumn leaves instead of just daylight. Or the rough, weathered grain of ancient oak instead of a tree. It's about stacking those hyper-specific details to create an immersive visual experience that truly makes you do a double take. Ready to become a digital shutterbug? Now, let's flex those photographic muscles with a photorealistic challenge. Our role is a professional photographer AI, immediately setting the expectation for a high-quality, believable image. The context provides the publication setting, subtly influencing composition. The task is where the magic begins. A grizzly bear on hind legs by a rushing river, salmon catching. A moment of pure wildlife drama. Then, format specifies high-resolution photograph and telephoto lens perspective, critical for that authentic camera feel. Finally, the camera feel. Constraints are packed with realism. Water spray, fur texture, golden hour light, pine forest, and sharp focus. These specific details are what transform a simple image into a breathtaking photograph. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try this prompt yourself. You can copy the exact prompt from the lab guide below. If you want to skip ahead, use the chapter links at the bottom of the video or in the description. Whoa, did you feel like you were right there with the camera? That's the power of photorealistic prompting. Our role as a professional photographer told Gemini to behave like one, focusing on composition and technical fidelity. The context further refined the expected aesthetic for a wildlife magazine. But the true game changers were in the task, and especially the constraints. Specifying telephoto lens perspective created that shallow depth of field, making our bear pop. The water spray and intricate fur texture brought the scene to life, adding tactile realism. And that golden hour sunlight reflecting on water wasn't just pretty, it was a lighting directive, creating stunning highlights and shadows. This level of detail makes Gemini a master illusionist, crafting images that are virtually indistinguishable from real photos. You're basically a digital Ansel Adams now. Photorealism demands a photographer's eye for detail, focusing on light, texture, and technical camera-like terms. Now let's dive into beyond the lens, diving into hyper-realism. Okay, if photorealism is capturing reality, hyper-realism is turning the volume up to 11 on reality. It's about seeing every single pore, every individual hair, every minuscule dewdrop, with an almost surreal clarity. Think super sharp focus, incredibly vibrant colors, and textures so tangible you feel like you could reach out and touch them. For hyperrealism, we're not just observing, we're magnifying. We're thinking about the way light refracts through a single drop of water, the subtle fuzz on a peach, or the microscopic fibers of a fabric. It's reality, but more. It's almost like looking through a powerful microscope at an everyday object, revealing astonishing complexity. This is where you push Gemini to render details that often go unnoticed in real life, making the ordinary extraordinary. Get ready to obsess over every pixel. Time to zoom in and get utterly obsessive with detail for hyperrealism. Our role is now a macro photography expert AI, a clear signal to Gemini for extreme close-ups and intricate rendering. The context, as a scientific journal cover, again emphasizes precision and clarity. Our task is delightfully specific, a single dewdrop reflecting a miniature forest. This immediately sets a high bar for detail. The format explicitly calls for extreme macro photograph and focus stacking technique, which are real-world methods for achieving unparalleled sharpness. And for constraints, we're asking for individual imperfections, microscopic hairs, and a crystal-clear reflection. These are the details that scream hyperrealism. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try this prompt yourself. You can copy the exact prompt from the lab guide below. If you want to skip ahead, use the chapter links at the bottom of the video or in the description. Did you just feel your jaw drop? That's the magic of hyperrealism in full effect. By setting the role as a macro photography expert, we signal Gemini to meticulously focus on the smallest elements. The context for a scientific journal reinforced the need for clinical precision. The journal task of the dewdrop reflecting a forest was ingenious because it inherently demanded incredible detail both on the drop and within its reflection. Crucially, the format specifying extreme macro photograph and focus stacking directly told Gemini to emulate techniques that achieve this level of detail. And those constraints about imperfections, microscopic hairs, and the crystal clear reflection, they were the icing on the super detailed cake, forcing Gemini to render every single element with breathtaking clarity. You've officially entered the realm of the visually supernatural. Hyper-realism requires prompts that demand microscopic levels of detail, exaggerating the clarity and vibrancy of every element. Now let's dive into Animating Dreams, the art of anime generation. Now for something completely different, let's jump into the vibrant, expressive world of anime. This isn't just about drawing. It's about capturing a specific aesthetic, a feeling, a narrative style. Anime spans a vast range, from the classic hand-drawn look of a Ghibli film to the sharp, energetic lines of a shonen series. When prompting for anime, you need to think about the character design, the exaggerated expressions, the dynamic action poses, and the unique way backgrounds can tell a story. Specify the era or genre if you have a particular style in mind. 90s shoujo is very different from modern cyberpunk anime. We're not just generating images, we're invoking entire worlds of storytelling. Get ready to unleash your inner mangaka. Alright, grab your magical swords and let's dive into the exhilarating world of anime. For this prompt, our role is an anime concept artist AI, immediately setting the creative stage for a stylistic output. The context of a new fantasy anime series cues Gemini to think about compelling character design and epic settings. The task is where we sketch out our hero and her dramatic battle. A young female knight, blue hair, glowing sword, mid-air, fighting a shadowy dragon in temple ruins. That's a whole lot of awesome. For format, we specifically ask for modern shonen anime style, cel-shaded with dynamic action lines. This is crucial for getting that authentic anime look. Then, constraints. Add the cinematic flair, exaggerated perspective, intense energy, dramatic moonlight, and motion blur. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try this prompt yourself. You can copy the exact prompt from the lab guide below. If you want to skip ahead, use the chapter links at the bottom of the video or in the description. How epic was that? You just conjured a scene straight out of an anime. Our role as anime concept artist immediately told Gemini to focus on character design, style, and dynamic composition. The context of a fantasy anime series further honed its understanding of the world. Then, task provided the core narrative elements, bringing our courageous knight and shadowy dragon to life. But the real game changer was the format. Specifying modern shonen anime style, cel-shaded with dynamic action lines, directly dictated the art style, colors, and sense of movement. And those constraints? Exaggerated perspective, intense magical energy, and motion blur are classic anime techniques that added the dramatic intensity and fluid action we wanted. You've officially proven you can direct your own anime. Generating anime requires specifying distinct stylistic elements, character archetypes, and dynamic action. Now let's dive into Whimsical worlds, bringing Disney Pixar 3D to life. Finally, let's inject some heartwarming charm with the unmistakable style of Disney Pixar 3D. This isn't just about 3D rendering. It's about capturing that unique blend of highly expressive characters, vibrant yet soft lighting, and deeply emotional or adventurous storytelling. When you prompt for Pixar, think about the iconic character design, exaggerated features, large expressive eyes, and a sense of tangible texture. Consider the lighting, often warm, inviting, and used to highlight emotional moments. And remember, Pixar's magic is in its storytelling, so even a single image should hint at a larger narrative or a character's personality. We're aiming for that perfect blend of wonder and warmth. Get ready to create some digital friends. Let's end our stylistic journey with a dose of pure, unadulterated charm. Disney Pixar 3D. Our role is a Pixar animation director AI, immediately setting the stage for a delightful, high-quality animated style. The context for a new Pixar short film tells Gemini to think about narrative, emotion, and iconic character design. The task paints a vivid picture, a tiny, curious robot with innocent eyes, gazing up at a towering, friendly alien made of stardust, all set on a whimsical alien planet. This is classic Pixar setup. 4. Format. We explicitly state Disney Pixar 3D animation render, volumetric lighting, which are key to that unmistakable look. And the constraints are all about personality and atmosphere. Robots' awe, aliens' gentle expression, vibrant pastels, depth of field, and glowing particles. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try this prompt yourself. You can copy the exact prompt from the lab guide below. If you want to skip ahead, use the chapter links at the bottom of the video or in the description. Oh, didn't that just warm your circuits? That's the power of channeling Pixar. Our role as an animation director set the perfect expectation for a polished, character-driven scene. The context of a Pixar short film inherently guided Gemini towards emotional depth and narrative potential. The task was brilliant because it combined a relatable character, the curious robot, with an awe-inspiring one, the stardust alien, creating instant dynamic. But the magic truly solidified with the format. Specifying Disney Pixar 3D animation render and volumetric lighting were non-negotiable for achieving that signature aesthetic. And the constraints, the robot's awe and the alien's gentle expression, along with the vibrant pastel palette, imbued the image with exactly the heartwarming, wonder-filled feeling we wanted. You're practically an honorary member of the Pixar creative team now. You've just mastered the art of visual storytelling with Gemini, using the RCTFC framework as your guide. Remember, the clearer and more detailed your prompts, the closer your generated images will be to the masterpieces in your mind. Don't be afraid to experiment, layer on the descriptive details, and truly explore the vast creative potential that Gemini offers. Your imagination is the only limit. Wow, what a journey! From understanding the bedrock of RCTFC, role, context, task, format, and constraints, you've transformed into an image alchemist, capable of conjuring any visual style you can dream up. We've seen how thinking like a photographer unlocks stunning photorealism, how magnifying details creates breathtaking hyper-realistic scenes, and how defining stylistic nuances brings anime and Pixar 3D worlds to life. Remember, Gemini is an incredible canvas, and your prompts are the brushstrokes. The more precise, descriptive, and imaginative your brushstrokes are, the more vivid and detailed your masterpieces will become. So go forth, experiment with these techniques, and fill the digital world with the incredible images from your mind. Happy creating, you brilliant visual storyteller! Now that you've got your new toolkit for visual wizardry, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe for more AI adventures, share these lab guides with your fellow creators, and drop your questions and mind-blowing image creations in the comments below. Remember, the contact info for further questions is always in the lab guide. So, what stunning